I'm sure that James will be coming in, but maybe he's planning to be a couple minutes late. So let's go ahead and get started. Call this meeting to order. It's 11:01. Manager, you have the floor.
All right.
So I don't need it
First page, you have two items, two people speaking on the public agenda.
until I just saw him pop up.
Yeah, so I gave
Page
the
two.
reference, you gave it to
Perfect.
Can we make sure everybody's on mute?
All right, thank you.
Thanks. On page two, number one on new business, if you remember the discussions during the budget, we're moving the warrant office responsibilities to municipal court, and so this charter ordinance will put in place the necessary procedures for that to happen, as well as recognizing that we have a new records management system that's going online, and the ordinance will allow for electronic filing of criminal complaints and processing of electronic warrants. Number two is our note and bond sale. We sold notes and bonds yesterday and had very favorable rates, and we'll report those out on Tuesday. Number three is the approval of the budget for the new branch library on East Harry, the old Linwood library. It's a budget for furniture and technology, signage, architectural services. And also, it would designate the library board to serve as the naming committee for that building. They would bring back a formal recommendation to you. Number four is approval of about a $2 million budget for the replacement of almost 550 radios in the police department. Current radios were purchased from 2008 to 2012, so that'll give you an idea of the age and the old technology. Number five would be approving health insurance premiums for 2021. They average about a 5.2% increase over this year's rates. And then also an increase in the dental premiums for our employees. You remember the dental program is employee paid. That rates would increase by 0.5%.
And Bob, I will be abstaining from this vote.
All right. You may want to consult with law. I mean, I understand it's a safe thing to do, but this has nothing to do with the vendor. This is just establishing the rates. But
We talked earlier, we'll talk.
okay, great.
Okay, thank you.
And then number six is, I think, really something important to the community. It would use some of the CARES Act funding that we're receiving through the housing department, $156,000, to provide internet access to about 2,700 students that are served by our city's housing authority programs. So those are students that live in public housing or in assisted housing. That's all I have on page 3 and nothing on page 4. Page 5, 2A, just wanted to point out this is the first phase of a design build project for this clarifier replacement. It's the assessment of the conditions and the development of a guaranteed maximum price. The team of MKEC and Donlinger was selected to do this work.
Is this going to fit in with, so we're going to be doing some major upgrades to that plant.
Right.
Is this going to fit in with those upgrades, or is this just a Band-Aid until those upgrades can be made?
Yeah. Who can?
I'm here, Mr.
Yeah,
Manager.
Alan, go ahead.
Yes, it will fit in with the ultimate plans that we will have for that plant 2 site. We're doing only some of the clarifiers, the ones we know that are going to have to be used regardless of what happens with the BNR. There are 2 that there's a question about whether or not they will fit into a future BNR upgrade. So we're not going to do those, but we're going to look at them as a possible improvement under the BNR. So this is not a throwaway. It's consistent with a future effort, and that's how the work is being planned.
Perfect.
Thanks, Alan. Number 4 at the bottom of the page is our annual KDOT allocation for transit. It's almost $1.4 million. Next page, page 6. Number 5 allows us to participate in ATF task force, and it provides us with overtime, reimbursement for our overtime cost associated with the unit, about $18,000. That's all I have on page 6. Just one item on page 7, number 10. If you remember, we entered into an agreement with Martin's to serve as the commercial broker for property on the airport, and we're recommending an extension of that agreement. Mayor, that's all I've got.
All right, is there any questions on the agenda? If not, is there any comments for the good of the group? If not, there is no objection, then I will